Is the Remote Closing Academy a scam? Is it a pyramid scheme? Is it an MLM? What is it? We're gonna cover that in this video. So a couple days ago, I was doing some research to create a video here on the channel. And as I was doing so, one of my routines that I do is I go on YouTube and Google and search Remote Closing Academy and see what pops up. And one of the recommended search queries was, is Remote Closing Academy a scam? Now, I was confused, but also like interested and intrigued behind like, why would people want to make these videos? Like what motivated people to do that? Because I mean, I literally get to wake up every single day and help change people's lives. I mean, like one of my most favorite parts of the entire week is interviewing people for the RCA podcast, where we go through the journeys of how they're able to use remote closing to change their lives for themselves, their families, and people in their circle. So all that being said, in this video, we're gonna cover three main things. Number one, my takeaways from watching some of these scam videos and my overall thoughts. Number two is the real reason why RCA was created in the first place. And number three, I'm gonna reveal to you if RCA really is an MLM pyramid scheme scam. So first things first, let me go ahead and give you my takeaways from some of these videos that were reviews or saying that RCA was a scam. There's two congruent things within both of these videos. Number one is everyone that made one of these scam or review videos were very, very clear that they didn't actually go through the program before. Yeah, I'll say it again if you didn't understand that. They gave a review of something that they didn't actually experience before. The thing that I equate that to is, let's say you were going to Google to type in some reviews for a new restaurant you wanted to try. And the person that gave the review, they were very blatant and said, the food was terrible and this sucked and that was really bad. But by the way, I actually have never been to that restaurant. Or let's say you're about to go on a vacation to some sort of resort and you're about to spend, a couple $1,000s on that. And you read the reviews and the person says, well, this sucked and I didn't like it because of X, Y, and Z, and this was good. But by the way, I didn't actually travel there. This is just my assumption from what I've seen online from their website. Not only is that kind of a weird concept, like I just can't wrap my head around why that would make sense to somebody to create something like that. But number two, it's extremely dishonest, right? Like I can't even put into words why that would even make sense to create a review about something that you haven't actually experienced yourself. What I guess I can believe it because of the second thing that was similar within these videos is the fact that not only were they giving a review of saying like, don't do this because, X, Y, and Z, but their call to action at the end of the video and in the description of every single one of the videos is a link to their own course, product, something that they're selling. So the first thing in and of itself, I mean, it is what it is, but when someone knowingly puts down somebody else's program or product without going through it and then pitching their own thing as the solution as to why they should do that because the other thing doesn't work, that is where it starts to get a little bit weird, in my opinion. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that someone isn't allowed to have their own opinion, because that's fine. Like, it's a free marketplace. If someone has a bad experience because they physically went through the thing and they didn't like it because X, Y, and Z, that's completely fine. But to be straight up and say like, yo, here's my review, but by the way, I didn't actually go through it, that's where it starts to become a little bit weird. So anyway, again, that's my takeaways from some of these videos. Now, without going down the entire rabbit hole for 20 minutes, I'm gonna break this down in like 1 minute. Cole Gordon, the founder of RCA, was he was working a job he didn't like. He was a bartender, he was going to school, but he knew that to make real money and to build real wealth, he either had to start a business or get into sales. So he started a business and didn't realize all the complexities that went along with that and ended up actually just selling for another high-tech company and learning the intricacies within that, learning how an actual business was run. And as a byproduct of that, because he was getting better at sales, he had a lot of people that actually started reaching out to him. So here's my fancy little PowerPoint that we're gonna go through here really quickly. So what happened because he got better at sales is he started to teach other people how to get better at sales to then grow their company. And then naturally what happened is these businesses started to grow, and because they had so many sales calls from a lot of Cole's training, is they ended up needing to build their own team, right? They needed to hire salespeople to help within the business. But then again, as a natural progression, is business owners not only didn't want to, but they didn't have the time to find sales reps. So out of necessity of literally needed to helping these clients that he had brought on to help them with sales, is we started placing sales reps into companies through our pipeline of just different sales people that we knew within the industry. But the problem is that we ran out of salespeople. You can only, especially as quickly as we've grown, from 0 to, $2 to $3 million a month in 26 months, is we very quickly ran out of salespeople to place in these businesses. Thus, RCA was born. So keep in mind, guys, the point of all of this is RCA wasn't just started to make a bunch of money, right? It was started and created out of the sheer necessity to place these people that we're teaching how to be salespeople into these other businesses that need them. So this is the way you can look at it. We have Sales Team Accelerator, which is what we talked about a second ago, where we're teaching these businesses not only how to get better at sales, but how to build sales teams, how to scale their companies. They need an appointment setter and a closer. And if we can't find them from other means, we pull them from someone that graduates from RCA. Now, let me be very clear. If you come through RCA, you are not necessarily guaranteed a spot with one of our Sales Team Accelerator clients. You have to be able to come in, put in the work, learn these skill sets, and prove to these companies that you are actually worth hiring. It's the exact same thing with any other job, right? If you come into a job and you're not good at the job, you're probably not gonna have the job for that long. Even if you were to come into RCA and we didn't place you directly into a company, you will now have a skill set that you can bring to any other business out there and basically guarantee that you'll never worry about making money again. And there's statistics and data out there that in 2021, this high-ticket industry was a $3.2 billion a year industry. By 2025, it's estimated to be over $300 billion. So there is a lot of growth, a lot of potential. And if you get in and learn this skill now, again, you're never going to have to worry about making money again. And you are going to be extremely, extremely valuable to these companies. Let's talk about it. Is Remote Closing Academy a pyramid scheme? Now, before we jump too deep down that rabbit hole, specifically about RCA, let's talk about just a pyramid scheme in general, right? The word pyramid scheme a lot of times is in association with MLMs, which are multi-level marketing programs. And I really think that it's also become almost like a catch-all for anything that someone thinks is a scam, right? It doesn't even have to pertain to being an MLM or a pyramid scheme, and people are just like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. That doesn't sound like it's actually true. So I'm assuming some of the people that have made videos about RCA being a pyramid scheme, I think that's what they're trying to say. But at the same time, I mean, some of these videos also, like I mentioned in the first point, is they've never gone through the program and they literally just look at some of the marketing material and they're like, oh, yep, that's a scam. That's a pyramid scheme. Now, for those of you that don't know what a pyramid scheme or an MLM is, let me break it down as simply as I can. So I was actually probably about 10 years ago was recruited into an MLM. I didn't do really anything with it. It was called Advocare. It was basically this supplement company where they would sell energy drinks and weight loss supplements and things like that. And what happens is you can then sell their product, right? You can sell some of those things, energy drinks, whatever, and make a commission off of each of those sales. However, the other way that you can make money is by recruiting people into your what is called a downline. And the reason this was really pushed is because what you could do is instead of, going out there and doing sales, you can find people to then join your downline. You get, incentivized by that. You get compensated for doing that. And then if you create a downline so large, right? Let's say you recruit someone and that person recruits someone and that person recruits someone, you could have this like web of like hundreds or thousands of people that are doing the exact same thing. And everything goes back up to the top, back to the top of the person. And that's why it's like a pyramid is how it's built. So with that context, and even through some of the things that I talked about in this video, it's very, very clear that Remote Closing Academy is not a pyramid scheme. In no way, shape, or form is it even possible for you to come into RCA and recruit somebody else, and then that person recruits someone else, and that person recruits someone else. Now, let's just say someone did come into RCA, they had a really great experience, and they just went to their friend and said, hey, I went through this program, I learned this skill, here's the amount of money I've been able to make, and let's say that person does come in. That person isn't going to start building a downline, right? And then that person starts to refer someone else and that person it's not how it works. And the second part that really kind of differentiates it from being a pyramid scheme or an MLM is the fact that you're not just staying within the ecosystem of the Remote Closing Academy. It would be more of a pyramid scheme if, let's say, you came into RCA and you had to sell RCA to other people. Yeah, I mean, in that case, yes. But the majority of the time what happens is someone comes into RCA, it's literally a training platform, a training program to teach you how to get better at remote closing. And then you can use those skills and literally go into any other high ticket business out there that needs help and needs, someone to come in and set appointments or close deals for them. So I try to keep that as clear as possible. So hopefully all that made sense. And I want to add one more little bonus in here that really differentiates RCA and the program itself from a lot of other programs out there that you might have seen that pitches the idea of, you can make money online. And the things that I'm talking about are things like building a marketing agency or Amazon FBA or any of those things. This is the usual life cycle of an online guru. They go through and let's say they get really good at affiliate marketing or Amazon FBA. They get really good at that. They do that for a while. They build up credibility as the person in the space. And then what happens is they stop doing that and they create a course. And that's really why a lot of people have like a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to gurus, because yes, they did that thing one time, but then now they're making their money, their millions of dollars or whatever people say, they're making that from them selling that dream to other people. And the difference here, guys, is with remote closing, we have never stopped within the remote closing realm. We have never stopped doing the thing that we're teaching other people to do. Of course, I'm a little bit biased because I'm within the company and I, get to help people change their lives every single day. But to consistently be doing the thing that you're teaching not only makes it better for you, right, when you come into the program and learn from someone that's actively doing it every single day, but you would just also get the most updated information. We're in the trenches with you every single day doing exactly what we are teaching you to do, as opposed to, again, selling you something that we did 5 years ago or 10 years ago and saw success with it one time. So I just wanted to add that bonus in there because I think that is really what differentiates a lot of what we do, from a lot of other online gurus that do something one time and then sell you a course on how to do it. So in conclusion, is the Remote Closing Academy an MLM pyramid scheme scam? And the answer is no. It is not any of those things, and it never will be any of those things, because what we're going to do is continue to wake up every single day, teach people this one high-value recession-proof skill that will allow you to create the life that you would never even imagine is possible, and we're doing it on a daily basis. You can look at some of the podcasts. We have a new one coming out every single week of people that we're helping. We have hundreds of reviews, hundreds of people that have seen success with using remote closing to help them change their life. So all that being said, guys, Aaron here for the Remote Closing Academy. You can click the link down in the description to learn a little bit more about remote closing, what it is, and how you can use it to create a full-time living online without creating a business, product, or service. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Talk soon. Peace.